Okay, so hi everybody. I see that we're starting to have some people join. I just wanted to give a couple minutes for everybody to get situated and to join the webcast. So the first thing that I want to show is that I'm going to be doing a Q&A, and I'm going to have it not only with just the Zoom application, but I'm also going to do it with the Google Slides. So if you guys have any questions, you can just use this URL right here, goo.gl/slide/t3ejkb. And I have this tab open so that I can keep going back and seeing if anybody has any questions. So this webinar is to show you how you guys can use our product, the screener. And this is going to be the first of a series of webcasts where I will talk about different products or services that we offer and how you guys as investors can get the most out of it. So the first thing that we decided to talk about was the screener. The goal of this presentation is to demonstrate the many capabilities of the Tickeron screener and to show you guys how you guys can customize what type of data you want. We want to show you how you can trade a little bit smarter and faster, and it will be a good step towards using artificial intelligence in your own trading. Here you can see how you can use artificial intelligence to build portfolios of the various security types, which I have listed here: stocks, ETFs, funds, Forex, and even cryptocurrencies. Artificial intelligence has many capabilities in the investment world, from finding patterns and trends to programmatic trading. This tool, the screener, gives investors the ability to search for securities with precision. For example, if you're looking for retail stocks with a PE under 30 and a market cap of above 10 billion, the AI screener can find those stocks for you in just seconds. If you're looking for international ETFs with expense ratios under 0.5%, just type your request into the screener and get the results. The list of the AI screener's capabilities go on, and this webinar will show you how to use them. By joining this webinar, you will learn how to screen for securities using your own custom search criteria. You can view if the security is under or overvalued, and I will show you the formula that we have to calculate whether or not the security is under or overvalued. Also, you can see what the AI is predicting. And lastly, you can create a portfolio with the results. This information will help you save time, which as a fellow investor, it's always good to save as much time conducting research as possible. Also, personally, I have used other screeners like, for example, finviz.com, and it's just not that user-friendly, and it's hard to get exactly the data that you want. Also, it never hurts to double check with the AI. So if you have your own method of coming up with securities and trades that you want to use, it never hurts to double check. And also, you can save these filters for later use in the future, which will help you save even more time. So the first thing that I want to highlight are the four main sections of the screener, which is the filters, the top 20 categories, my portfolios, and tickers. So now let's go over to the Tickeron screener. Here you can see the categories listed right here up at the top. And also I made a video previously talking about how to use the screener. So if you ever want to look at that, it's right here with the video icon. The filters consist of three categories: the smart filter, the do-it-yourself filter, and indexes. I'm going to take a closer, more in-depth look in just a few minutes at these filters. So now let's take a look at the top 20 categories. As you can see, the categories are based on the actual security type. So for example, let's take a look at the top 1-year performers for stocks. And here we have Tandem, which has gone up 1,500% over the past year. Now let's take a look at the top 20, let's say, energy ETFs for the past year. This is a good way to just take a quick glance at how the different sectors are performing. Also, something that is very important that I want to highlight which even personally, it took a time to get adjusted to it, but it's very important to know how to sort the data. So for example, I just clicked on the word price. Now what is going on is it's sorting the data based on the price of the ETF. As you can see, 24.87, $24.15. But for example, let's say you want to filter or sort the data based on the actual percentage change. Here you have to click on that word change. Now, as you can see, the data is being sorted by 11.8%, 9.8%, and so on. And now if you do the reverse, as you can see, the top losers are 25%, 24%, and etc. So this is very important, and it works for every single thing in every category. You will see the word change underneath it, which means that's the percentage change, not the actual daily volume amount. Now, the other section in the header is my portfolios. Here, it will pop up all the portfolios that you've created already on Tickeron. So for example, I created a portfolio here, which is a portfolio that I used to trade for on the app Robinhood. And here I have the 3 different stocks. And this is a good way just to take a quick look at the different fundamentals for the positions that you have in that portfolio. Now, the other section in the screener is the tickers. Here you can search for a specific stock or ETF, etc., and take a good look at the chart. We have the support and resistance lines already calculated on the chart. As you can see, Apple, when it popped up to the $1 trillion market cap, it hit that resistance line. And then when it went all the way down to about $150, it hit another support line and is starting to bounce back up. Now, if you take a look at price, you can also look at the candlestick chart. After the data loads up, you'll see an icon over here to click on candlesticks. And as you guys know, as fellow investors, it's a good time, it always helps to look at the candlestick because it gives you the open and the close, and it's a good measure of the volatility of the stock. So now let's go back to the screener and take a look at the presentation. The next thing that I want to go in depth about are the 3 filter types, which is the smart filter, the do-it-yourself filter, and indexes. Also, this will change depending on which security type you are looking at. For example, ETFs, they don't have indexes, they have ETF families. So when you take a look back at the screener and you look at the smart filter, this is a good way just to take a quick glance at the top performers and the top gainers. You can change the time frame from the years, 5 years, all the way up to a quarter, or up to the last month and up to the last day. Now, the coolest thing that I think personally about the screener is the do-it-yourself filter. This is split up into 2 different categories: the sectors and industries and the fundamentals. The way we have it set up is here you will see the different percentages for what we have for based on the sector. If you look, you can see what the different percentages for the sector as a whole. As you can see, consumer services has gone up 20%, and when you take a more in-depth look with the drop down, you can see that this category, other consumer services, has gone up 19%. When you take a look here, also, you can see that Marker Therapeutics Inc. has gone up about 20% over the last month, which is leading the consumer services sector industry. Now, the other section in the do-it-yourself filter is fundamentals. This is a good way to take a look at fundamentals for whatever your preference is. For example, in the introduction, I talked about looking at stocks with the PE ratio under 30, with a market cap above 10 billion, which would be considered large cap. And as no surprise, you see companies that we're all familiar with like Toyota, Comcast, Walt Disney, and Pepsi, etc. Now, here is a good way where you can apply the save filter and save it for the future. So let's say I wanted to save this filter as PE under 30, large cap. Now I can save this filter and reference it later by clicking Apply Save Filter. Here we can see the P3 under 30. And also, if you want to reset any categories that you have, all you have to do is simply click the Reset Do-It-Yourself Filter button. Now, the last section in the filters is the indexes. These are also something that we're all familiar with, like the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, for example, the Russell 3000. When you take a look at another security type like ETFs, you will see that there's not indexes, but rather there's families. And if you scroll down, for example, let's look at Fidelity Investments. Here it would show the ETFs in the Fidelity Investments family. Same thing goes for mutual funds, and you can look at the families and you will see them all listed here. So now let's go back to the presentation one more time and look at the next section that I would like to talk about. Here, now that we've learned how to filter all the results and get the data that we want, I want to show you guys how to get a closer and more in-depth look on the actual data and how you can analyze it. It's split up into 3 sections. The fundamentals, which is what we've mainly been looking at, the artificial intelligence, and the human intelligence, also known as the ticker-on community. So when you go back to the screener, as we've been looking at during this whole webinar, is the fundamentals. But now let's look at the artificial intelligence. But let's take a closer look at some companies that we all know, like Berkshire Hathaway with Warren Buffett. So when you go to artificial intelligence, you will see some interesting data over here, which, as I said at the beginning of the webinar, you will see whether or not the AI is considering the stock over or undervalued. I have that formula right here. At first, when I took a look at this formula, it was overwhelming to me and it seemed like a lot of data. But if you take a closer look at it, it makes sense. As you can see, you have the market cap minus the average market cap divided by the standard deviation of the market cap. This is calculated for not only just the market cap, but the price to earnings ratio, the dividend yield, the price to book ratio, price to earnings growth ratio, and the earnings. If you want to take a closer look at this formula, as I have said, I am recording this webinar and will be posting it on the website. I will be posting it under the webcast section, which is how you guys were able to attend the webcast. You can see that we have past webcasts recorded, and I will make sure I post it right here at the top. Also, just to give you guys a little bit more insight, I do the customer support here for Tickeron. So if you guys have any questions about anything for webinars, this webinar, or for future webinars, or if you guys want to get engaged and you think I should do a webinar based on a certain product on the website, that would be greatly appreciated. And I'm always open to any feedback. Here, when you click the Contact Us, you can type your message here and I will make sure to get back to you guys as soon as possible. So now let's take a look back at the artificial intelligence for the screener. The next section is the AI patterns. Here is another product that we offer that talks about the patterns that we have for the actual stock. I will go more in depth about this in the future, and I will do another webinar talking about this. But just to demonstrate a little bit, here we have a pattern for the broadening wedge descending pattern, which is a bearish pattern that goes down. And also you can view the different statistics and to see how the AI has done historically for all the patterns recognized for all stocks, ETFs, crypto, and Forex. Now the other section under the artificial intelligence is the AI predictions. This is what the AI is predicting as considered for the trend of the stock. So does it think that the stock is going to keep trending upwards or trending downwards? This is different than the patterns because it doesn't have a specific target price, but it's just guessing what it thinks is going to happen in the near future. When you see the within next week, that means that the AI is predicting either it will go up 2% within the next week, which is bullish, or it will go down 2% within the next week, which is bearish. Then for the next month, it is going up at least 4% or down at least 4%. Now let's look at the last section, which is the human intelligence. This is basically a way of looking at what the market sentiment is, at least with the Tickeron community. So as we start to get more and more users, the more people that vote on this, the more accurate we will have for the data. So for example, let's say that I think that Morgan Stanley is going to go up at least 2% over the next week, and I have a high confidence level that it will go up. As you can see, at least 69% of the Tickeron community so far believes that Morgan Stanley is going to go up at least 2% for the next week. It's always a good way to look at market sentiment in some capacity to get an idea what other fellow traders and investors are thinking. So now let's take a look at the last thing on this webinar, which are the other features provided in the screener. These are 3 cool features that I really think would be useful to all of us, and it's something that should be highlighted. The first thing is to search by the ticker. So let's say I wanted to search specifically for Apple. I would just type it right here into this search bar, click the checkbox, and then click the search icon. Now the cool thing about this is it shows up all of the data that we have just discussed. It shows the fundamentals, what the artificial intelligence is thinking, and also what the Tickeron community is predicting for the future. This is a cool way just to find out all of this information about a specific security that you're looking at. Now, another thing is we can add these specific stocks. So if you've filtered out a specific filter, so let's look back at the filter we created, the PE ratio under 30. Now let's say I wanted to add all of these stocks to a portfolio that I already created. You can select them all by clicking this box right here, and then you can click the Add Selected to Portfolio button. Now let's just create a new portfolio for demonstrational purposes. Here you will see a pop-up right here in the right-hand corner, and then if you click on the blue hyperlink, it will send you to that portfolio. This is also going to be another webinar I will do in the future that highlights the portfolio summary. It will also highlight all of the tools that we have available, like the fundamentals, back testing, the community trend predictions, and how you can even use artificial intelligence to autopilot your portfolio for you. And the last thing that I would like to highlight is the trade ideas. So let's take a look at Disney. When you click on this button right here called Trade Ideas, it will give you a closer look at the actual stock. Here we can also see the support and resistance line chart for Disney, along with what the predictions are for AI. As you can see, it's confident that basically it's going to be sideways, which means it's a holding position. Also, it will show you what the pattern is. And once again, this is different than the trend prediction because it has an actual target price. But personally, going through all of the statistics that I've done so far throughout the time that I've been working with Tickeron, it's a good rule of thumb to at least select a pattern that has a 60+% confidence level. This means obviously that it's over 50%, but historically speaking, the statistics are very good for all patterns when it has at least a 60% confident level. And then if you keep scrolling down, you can see more fundamentals, and you can see the community trend predictions, and also at the very bottom, you will see what blog posts we have written about this stock. As you can see, only just a couple hours ago, our writer, Indra, wrote a blog post about the Disney CEO. So now if you guys have any more questions about anything, you guys can post it in the Q&A board, or you can post it in the link that I have provided earlier, which I'll provide again right here, which is this this Google Slides link, and it's, let's see, it's goo.gl/slides/T3EJKB. Yes, this webinar will be posted, and it will be posted for reference under the Academy section. So let me demonstrate that right here. So if you click on Academy and you go to webcast, you will see at the bottom right here that there are past webcasts listed. And I will make sure to put it at the very top and to highlight it so that it's easy to find for you. And once again, if you guys ever have any questions, I personally do the customer support. So if you guys need to just talk to me directly, you can message me right here through the customer support, and I will make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. But just so you know, once again, the webcast will be listed on the webcast page, and it will be under the section Past Webcast. Does the AI work automatically? Yes. And we did a lot of testing to make sure that we had the AI exactly where we wanted, but now it's been live and it works automatically. The one thing that it does not do is we just do not have the intraday market data, but we're currently working on that right now, and it should be in service very, very soon and implemented. But besides that, the AI works automatically, and it does all of the search without any of us having to put any more information in. It just does it on its own. The cost of using Tickeron, what I showed you is the screener is free. That is free for sure, and you guys can go through and filter out the data. But if you want to use, for example, the patterns, that's the highest charge that we have, which is $20. But the trend prediction, which is predicting whether or not the stock is going to go up or down, that's at $9, about $10 a month charge. Also, if you want to look at the different products we have, you can click on membership and it will show you the different subscriptions you can have. But another good thing you can do is you can just sign up as for free as a beginner. And if you want to use the artificial intelligence for the patterns or for the trend search engine, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial. And yes, we do cover crypto. We cover crypto for everything. We have it for the screener. Let me just demonstrate that right now. Right here, we have the crypto, and we categorize all of the different cryptocurrencies. And it's no surprise, crypto has been burning basically since Bitcoin hit 20 grand last December. But yes, we cover all of crypto, and we have it not only for the screener, but we also have it for the patterns, and we have it for the trend prediction. And also, we post blog posts about cryptocurrencies. Our main writer, editor-in-chief, he writes definitely a lot of crypto blog posts, so we also have that too as well. But once again, we also offer a free trial for every single one of our products. And if for some reason you don't want to keep using the product and you've been charged, you can always request a refund, and we can give you a refund for at least the last month. So if you want to extend your trial a little bit, that's totally fine as well. Can the AI automatically trade? No, as of right now, we're not a money management company, but that's also something we're currently working on. So right now, the AI will do the trading for you as an autopilot, and I'll go more in depth into that in the future, but we do have the capability of having the AI do autopilot, but you would just have to come back to Tickeron and to keep up with the trades and then go into your actual brokerage account and make those trades. But we're not a money management company right now, but we're in the process of becoming one pretty soon. Okay, Alan, yeah, sure. I know that I just talked a lot about the cryptocurrencies and stuff, but sure, I can go over some of the features of, the main cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Once again, when you go to screeners and you go to tickers, here you could also look a little bit more in depth at a specific security. So let's just take a look at Bitcoin. And here we have the support and resistance chart along with the price chart, and we have candlestick. And also you can change it for like the last year or the last quarter, the last month. And then we have the trend predictions. So right now the AI is saying with an 82% confidence level to hold Bitcoin, which is personally actually what I'm doing right now. I have some Bitcoin, but I'm just holding it because I'm hopeful that maybe it'll go up pretty soon. And then the next month it's inconclusive as of right now. And then also we have patterns for it right now. We have a pattern, but only has a 30% confidence level, but it's hopeful that Bitcoin will reach $4,600. So we have all of this data available for Bitcoin, and if you want to take a closer in-depth look at these securities, you could always go to Screener and select tickers. And then here you can search through all different security types.